Hello and welcome to Take Time. I'm your host Patrick Marlett, and today we have an exclusive, a Macy's exclusive. Rado's Captain Cook series launched back in 1962, and today we're celebrating that heritage with a modernized version of their Mark III Cook. With an extra large case and textile strap, this is meant to be a modern expeditionary watch. With its striking yellow accents and overscaled form, this is the exact opposite of the recent hyperchrome Captain Cooks, and more akin to something like Seiko's Tuna series. So far as overall scale is concerned, which we'll get into in just a minute, but how does this reimagined classic fare to a modern collector's taste? As with all of my reviews here on the channel, I like to start with the bad and then move on to the good before giving my final verdict on a review item. So let's get cooking. The Rado Captain Cook Mark III measures 46.8 millimeters in diameter and 48 millimeters from lug end to lug end. It's 14 millimeters thick from the back of the case to the top of that boxed sapphire crystal and features 26 millimeter lug widths. Both the case and crowns here are made of a hardened grade 5 titanium, and inside beats the heart of an ETA C07621, which is an automatic 3-hander with a day-date display and an 80-hour power reserve. One last thing to note about this case is that it's 22 bars water resistant. The total package coming in at a little over $2,500. And just so you guys know, I did not buy this from Macy's. I've been lent this in, so I'd like to thank them, Fernanda, and of course Rado for lending this out to me. I really appreciate you letting me experience this watch and share that experience with my audience here. So let's start with the giant seahorse in the room. The Captain Cook Mark III is a big old boy. Now you will either love or hate the scale of this watch. I'm still on the fence about it, even after a week of use, but for those with larger wrist, I'm sure this will be very much welcome. I love the fact that this features a day-date complication, but it's kind of hard to take in. The day and date wheel are located over at the 3 o'clock, but it's so recessed in the dial, it can be difficult to read them at a glance. You need to be looking at this thing dead on to see what's inside that hollow just shy of 3 o'clock. My last bad note about this watch is the accessory option here. Now they're asking a whole lot for this watch over on Macy's website, and it would have been nice that the one option you receive when you purchase this were a bracelet or perhaps even a rubber strap, as this is a dive watch, but instead we have this fabric strap. And yes, while it does look good with the watch, I would expect more accessories to come with this product. Now, aside from the lack of accessory options and concerns to its pricing and the somewhat difficult to read day-date complication, there's a lot of good to mention about this watch. First of which, check this out, screw-in crown for the inner rotating bezel. Take that, Seiko Alpinist. This is just so nice to have, particularly if you're OCD like myself in regards to how this is lined up. Why don't we just get this over at the minute? But as soon as it's set, all you gotta do is push that puppy in and twist it, and that bezel won't ever rotate unintentionally. I absolutely love that. More brands should do that. Anytime there's inner rotating anything, go ahead and throw that on a crown that screws in. I love the yellow accents on this watch. It only makes me more curious as to what the final production models will look like when lit up, but they do a great job of drawing your eyes to the important details of the dial. I love how the yellow accents on the inner rotating bezel are not only numbered, but distinguished with that yellow accenting. It is a little odd to me that the first 15 minutes is also yellowified on the dial itself, but I suppose that makes sense thematically with the coloration of that inner rotating bezel. I feel like it could have been just as good looking sans the yellow accents on the dial, but that's a stylistic choice I'm sure they fought when making. And overall, I think it does look good when everything is lined up. Now, while I would have preferred a titanium bracelet alongside this watch or a rubber strap with matching titanium buckle, the strap that it's accompanied with is fairly nice on the wrist. The strap not only matches the watch well, but has a really nice clasp system in place. It's also odd to me that it's stainless steel. We're going to ignore that because the top end of it matches the case, but come on, you could have given us titanium here as well. But this is nice in that it extends when you're trying to put it on your wrist, which can be difficult with a watch of this scale, but this makes doing so a lot easier. So they definitely thought of everything in regards to wearability. It's a nice feature added with the user's convenience in mind. And on that note, while I have the clasp open here, let's go ahead and take a look at what this might look like on your wrist. After having worn the watch for about a week now, I can say that it wears a whole heck of a lot like the Seiko Tuna. So if that watch is your speed, this will likely be the perfect fit for you. It only seems large off the wrist, but once it's on, it actually wears really well. So here's the Rado Captain Cook Mark III on a 7¼ inch wrist for all of your admirers. And when you are going to admire it, it's going to look a little something like this. It's somewhat deceptively large, and make no mistake, it is a big watch, but it doesn't feel that way once on the wrist. The wearability here is really great, and it's actually rather comfortable. Being just a giant slab of titanium, it's both light and the design lends to a really nice feel once strapped on. The wearability, choice of movements, heck, the design, it's all really there. It's just lacking some accessories I would have preferred. Again, at this price, I would expect it to come with a nice matching titanium bracelet and perhaps a rubber strap, as well as this cloth strap it came with. Also, it would have been nice that this had matching titanium hardware. Now, the thing is, with Macy's, I feel like folks usually only visit there when they've clipped enough coupons. And at over 2.5K, I can see this being a hard sell at a Macy's retailer. However, if this was opened up to a larger market, pun intended, I could see it doing really well. Rado's offering a real premium way to become a member of the large watch club here. Clearly, they designed this for the collector who prefers a larger watch. I'll say this. If you wanted something that wears similarly to a Seiko Tuna, had a little bit more to spend, and were desirous of a watch with a solid automatic movement, this is a good way to go. However, at its current price, it is rather limited, and I don't mean its limited edition nature, it's limited in its packaging as well. And not only that, its sale locations. It'd be nice if they expanded this beyond Macy's. And I know a lot of you will argue you'd like to see a smaller version of it. Well, perhaps they can do that too. Currently, it's just a limited edition watch that you're not going to see a lot of due to the cost prohibitive nature of this package. And that's a shame because it's a really fun watch. Go ahead and come back to this design later, Rado. I'm sure a lot of folks would love to see this smaller with a matching titanium bracelet at a price that's slightly more affordable. If that means downgrading your movement, maybe try that out. But I hope everything goes well with these Macy's sales. This is a fun watch for sure. Now, if you found this video enlightening or in the least entertaining, feel free to hit that like button. It looks a whole heck of a lot like this guy. If you have friends, forums, or groups that were interested in picking up a large watch, joining the large watch club like myself, well, feel free to share this video with them first so they can take in a watch that's a really unique offering from a great brand. Again, if they have the budget for this, they're probably going to be the only one on their block with one. It's such a radical watch that you just don't hear about. So again, thank you, Rado and Fernanda, for sending this my way so I can share this experience with others. Also, if you're new to the channel, well, welcome. I do videos like this 2 or more times a week. So if watch content is your thing, feel free to slam that subscribe button. And while you're down there, you can hit the bell icon just next to that to be alerted as to when my videos air. Again, my name is Patrick Marlette, and thank you for the time.